Innovations in indexing. A good example of the power of indexing is the growth of ESG, environmental, social, and governance. There's billions of dollars benchmarked to ESG indexes, including the S&P, but there's a lot of confusion about what ESG is. This seems to be a real problem to its advancement. Gensler's had a problem with it. Dan, what role, if any, does S&P play in clarifying this confusion?
Absolutely. Again, bringing our independence and transparency and this long track record of bringing, additional information, putting it in benchmarks, indices in the hands of investors, traders, market participants. And we're, again, treating ESG as one of our biggest growth opportunities, but it's also to be able to take, this long story of innovation and indexing. And particularly if I look within ESG, climate, I would say is probably the most advanced in terms of the three areas, and really where S&P made an acquisition a number of years ago with TrueCost. That gives us a really interesting capability, and we're seeing a lot of demand in Europe around climate specifically, and now it's starting to translate in the U.S. as well.
Yeah. And just to jump in here, Bob, I mean, you look at the way S&P looks at ESG, and they do a fantastic job, but they're different than MSCI. They're different than FTSE Russell. And right now, we're so far along with so many different benchmarks and strategies, it's really going to be difficult for the SEC to set standardization and regulation over definition over ESG, I think.
Yeah, but that's not going to prevent them from trying. I think Gensler's indicating he wants to. Speaking of having a hard time defining things and regulatory, getting your hands around something regulatory, I want to ask about crypto and crypto indexes. Dan, I want to ask you what S&P is doing in that space. But Tom, I want to start with you. It seems like the real growth business for the ETF business is launching all these new ETFs and the indices around them. Now, you recently announced the sale of your company, ETF Trends, to Alarian, including a deal with Mike Novogratz to develop crypto and blockchain indexes. What's behind that, and what was behind your sale? What are you thinking about where the ETF business is going right now?
Well, when you look at the advisor marketplace and do-it-yourself investors, they look online for research, strategy ideas, and education. And luckily, we're one of those trusted sources, Bob. And as you know, we can see through flows, publicly shared information, along with the interests that we see on specific stories or interests, where the interests among advisors and investors are going. With that, I'll give you a great example. Last year, there were a lot of advisors that were looking at commodities. They were concerned about concerned about higher interest rate. They were concerned about inflation. They were also looking at infrastructure, and all these areas were a bit ahead of their time. With that, we can share that information with issuers out there to help them maybe do a better job of some of their current indexes, but also help them fill holes or gaps in their lineup specific to what advisors and investors are looking for. We're not going anywhere. We're going to do more of the same, but it was a great partnership, and we're really excited about it.
And what about this deal with Mike Novogratz? You're going to develop crypto indexes as well? Just give us a very brief summary of that.
Yeah, so they're already in place. There are 8 different indexes, and they're based on everything from blockchain and crypto owners, enablers, miners. We're also going to have futures as a part of that too, and other ETFs that can be invested within those ETFs. So very innovative, and obviously having Mike Novogratz and the team coupled with Alarian and their powerhouse, really excited to be a part of that.
Dan, what's S&P's plans regarding crypto indices? What are you doing with that right now?
Yeah, no, we're a very early mover in that space. We launched our first crypto indices at the end of last year on Bitcoin, Ethereum, a broad-based and kind of a larger, market cap weighted type of approach, if you will, in crypto. So those are in market. It was crucial for us, the underlying data, making sure that we can put together initially benchmarks and then later indices that could be licensed into investable products, but making sure that they reflected kind of the best data in the marketplace. And we have a partnership with Luca to be able to do that. So we're excited. Those indices are in market. They're building track records. And as Tom mentioned, we're excited to have the indices available for various types of investable products, derivatives, ETFs, what have you.